What's up there, SEO pros? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to rank on the first page of Google for keywords like full body workout, best full body workout, barbell row, push-pull legs routine, overhead press, bicep workouts, all kinds of fitness related keywords with huge difficulties and huge search rates. All of these health and wellness type keywords like workouts is a very, very competitive niche. I'm going to explain to you how I was actually able to take a client that had about 30,000 visits a month and grow their traffic in about 3 months to over 127,000 visits a month and over $200,000 a month in revenue generated. So actually, let me put down my screen a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. This client actually paid me about, what was it, $10,000 to do this for them. And what I actually did, I'll explain it in a second, but what I did to get this $10,000 was actually pretty easy. When I work with people that already have a bunch of authority and traffic, SEO is a lot easier. You can see this guy is actually a big YouTuber. He's got about 2.2 million subscribers on YouTube. Some of you guys have probably already seen him before. And when I started working with him, the first thing I did, obviously, is do an audit. I'm going to show you the actual audit that I worked on with this client so you guys can actually see what I was looking at when I started out. And this audit is actually the exact same audit that I use, that I give away for free on my website. If you go to resources, free SEO audit template, this is the exact same template that I used to grow Jeremy's traffic. So if you want to grab that template, head over to chaseturner.com. I will also leave a link in the description so you guys can go grab it. But this template right here is what I use for all of my clients. It's what I use for my local SEO clients, for my national clients. It's what I use for literally every single client that I've ever worked with for the last couple of years. And almost every single client that I've worked with has skyrocketed their traffic, whether it's a brand new website, whether it's an existing website that already has traffic. Whatever I'm working on, this roadmap does the job for that. One other thing that I want to plug before we get started is the new local program I'm creating. So I'm actually creating a little university program. It closes in 2 days. And what this is this program basically takes you through a live session. I will be attending about 8 different sessions over the next month with you guys, about 1 to 2 classes per week, where we're going to be going through how you actually generate local leads, how you sell audits to people, how you can actually implement those audits. You're going to really learn the business side of SEO, and you're going to be able to ask questions and be in a classroom environment with other people, as well as being able to take notes and actually get assignments to rank your first local website. So this can be a really cool sort of thing that I've never really done before. I've never really done a university type program where it's live training. So if you guys want to check it out, I will leave that as a link in the description as well. But let's get into it. So what I do for all my audits is I keep them in Google Drive. So once you download the audit, you're just going to put it in your Google Drive. And I have the Built with Science roadmap here. Now, the roadmap was a little bit different back in the day. You can see it's still similar to what it is now, but we didn't have all the phases that we have now. Now we have all these different phases where we start out with a site-wide audit, move to individual URLs on phase 2, and then on phase 3, we look at the keyword research. When I first started these audits, I only had phase 1. So we looked at just, as you can see here, all the foundational issues, like for instance, is the site redirect the preferred version? Is there a fave icon on the site? Is the robots.txt exist? If so, is the sitemap included in the robots.txt? Anything being de-indexed that shouldn't be de-indexed? Is there a categorized URL structure? The thank you pages, are those de-indexed? So we go through all these checks. And obviously, if you have the roadmap already, you kind of already know what these things are. And what you're going to do is you're going to just go ahead and check all these off, obviously, right? That's what we did. So we did the audit. We found all the things that were the big issues. We went in the Screaming Frog crawl, looked at all the different things that were showing up. And ideally, what you do with these big websites, the biggest thing that we did early on is we identified all of the top pages that we wanted to optimize. And the way you identify the top pages is you go into your Screaming Frog crawl. You're going to scroll all the way over to your clicks, because what you do is you hook up Google Search Console to Screaming Frog. And if you don't know what that means, basically, if we go into Screaming Frog right here, I can show you, you can connect your Google API to Screaming Frog. And you can actually pull all of your analytics metrics into your spreadsheet. So you can see here Google Search Console. We're going to hook that up. You select the property, you select, whatever you're working with, and here we go. We got all the clicks for the website. So I'm going to tell you the most valuable metrics that we focused on early on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take all these clicks and you're going to look at you're going to filter from the highest traffic pages to the lowest traffic. So right here you can see, all of these pages to the left are the highest traffic, most valuable pages. So that's where you want to spend your time. You want to spend your time where the site's getting all of its traffic and generally where it's making all of its money. So here's the things that you look at first, and this is what we looked at first, and especially this is the case with websites that already have a lot of traffic. You want to first of all look at all of the user metrics. So very important. You want to see, okay, are these pages loading well? Are there, are they slow page speed or is it fast page speed? You want to look at the bounce rates. So you want to make sure that these high traffic pages don't have, above 70% bounce rates. You want to look at the conversion rates, and you want to make sure that there are two different types of conversions on the website. So every website you work with, whether it's local or national, you want to check if there's a free conversion and a paid conversion. And what I mean by this is when somebody converts on your site, they're either going to be picking something up for free off your site or they're going to be paying for something on your site. You want to track both of these because when you look at your traffic, you want to make sure that people are, there's good conversions on both. So generally most of your pages, like your service pages, those are going to only be paid conversions. So like, let's say somebody goes and tries to buy a program from you, they try to buy a service or they buy a service, you're going to get a paid conversion. So if somebody buys that paid service for $300, then you have a redirect to the thank you page. That's how a conversion works. If you guys haven't seen this before, it's pretty simple. You just go to Google Analytics, go to your admin. Let me switch permissions, switch pages. You're going to go to your admin page or admin tab, go to goals, and you're going to set up. So if somebody buys, let's say, a course from you, let's say this is a course, you're just set up a thank you page that gets redirected from that page. And then you're going to assign a value to it, whatever it's worth. That's a paid conversion. Now, a free conversion is if somebody picks something up from you for free. So like, for instance, if I go to my free SEO resources, my free SEO audit template on my website, anybody who grabs this template, that's a free conversion because I'm not getting paid for it. Now, why do you want to have both free and paid conversions? The reason why is because most people, 90% of people are going to take this offer versus the 10% of people who are probably going to take this offer. Obviously those metrics are not correct. It might be 30% of the people take the free, 10%, whatever it is. But ideally, you want to catch people on both levels because not everybody's going to be ready to buy. Most people are going to hit your site and they're going to look around, they're going to see what information you have, and they're going to hopefully opt into something, whether it's a free or a paid, but you want to have both. And generally your paid conversions are going to be on your service pages, like here, buy this local course, buy the SEO Pro bundle, which contains all of my courses. Whatever you buy, you're going to or whatever you sell, it's usually going to be on a service, course, or product page. Now, all of your resources and your blog and whatever else, even your home page, that's where you can direct people to your free conversion. So like this one right here. So you want to be able to capture the people on the free level so you can remarket to them. A lot of people will not buy from the website that you're marketing until they see your offer like 5 or 6 times. So it's very important to capture them, whether it's through email, through ManyChat, through texting. You want to capture them in some sort of way by offering them free value, and you want to front load your value as much as possible. So the reason why this website already has so much authority is because there's already so much free value on it. There's a bunch of content that's for free. They have a bunch of checklists and different things that you can download for free. So naturally, and also the YouTube channel that they have as a resource, naturally this site has a ton of authority, so it's easier to rank. So when you're looking at your user metrics, these are the biggest things right here: page speed, bounce rates, conversion rates, and then you're going to also look at your Search Console metrics. These are also a form of metrics, user metrics, but it's from the Google side. So user metrics that you're going to see on this side, page speed, bounce rates, conversion rates, that's all through Google Analytics. Now, the metrics you're going to see through Search Console, which is what you're going to see on Google's side, meaning all the things that Google's going to pick up from how people are interacting with the Google search results, is going to be through your Google Search Console. So you're going to go to API Access, hook up your Google Search Console. Once you do that, then you also want to look at your click-through rates and your keywords that you're trying to rank. So these are the biggest metrics and for user metrics. Now the next, and I'll go into these a little bit deeper in a second and how we actually applied these. But the next thing you want to do is you want to go into your actual, content related metrics. So big thing for sites that already have a bunch of content on them that already exist. Has this been playing this whole time? No. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. I haven't been able to hear that. Is duplicate content. So a lot of big sites that have traffic usually have duplicate content issues. So you want to check internal duplicate content and you want to check external. Now this really is like, this might sound crazy to you guys. Besides like one other thing like internal linking, this really is the main stuff that we did for this site. And this is what you do. This is the main things that you're actually going to be doing for bigger sites. You're not going to be doing link building. You're not going to be doing PBNs. You're not going to be doing, anything weird. All you're really going to do is focus on these metrics, and you'll generally be able to rank national sites very well as long as they have pre-existing traffic and authority. So let's go through each of these line by line. So one thing that we did first off is we hired somebody to do the page speed on the site, make it faster. I have somebody that I use. If you guys want to get some help with page speed, I actually have a guy that you can hit me up for. Just send me an email. It's im@chaserunner.com. The guy's insane at page speed. He can make sites that you would think would never be able to be fast, up like to like 0.8 seconds. I just hired him off of Upwork. Bounce rates. Now, when you increase page speed, you're generally lowering bounce rates. That's just how it is. So, people who hit the site, if you have an 80% bounce rate on your site, usually the reason for that is because your pages are loading very slowly, or because the content that you have for whatever you're trying to rank isn't relevant. And that actually goes more into Search Console, which we'll talk about in a second on how you can actually optimize better so that what you're trying to rank for is relevant to what your page is actually about. And this is very important because relevancy is a huge thing when it comes to SEO. So let's go on to the next one. So conversion rates. So one thing that we did, now this is interesting. So I actually wound up 4xing this client's traffic, like 10xing their sales, and they wound up actually dropping me. They gave me $10,000 as I showed you earlier on, and they were not fully happy with my service because this part, because of this right here, and I'll tell you what I did. So basically on their site, they had mainly paid conversions. There was very little free, and even the free things, it brought them to an email list. Now, when I looked at the email list for this client, they had about, I think it was like a 10 or 20% open rate on their emails, which is very low. I mean, for email, it's fine because that's generally what you're gonna expect out of email. But if you look at something like ManyChat, you guys will actually see, a lot of you are actually on my Facebook. The open rates that I do for these broadcasts are very, very high. So you can see here, look at this, about a 75% open rate. And it's actually going to be higher after the couple days goes by. It's usually about 80% open rate. So 81% of the messages I send to people get opened. Now, with email, you can see 26%, even that's high, but 26% of the emails I send get open. But you can see the difference. It's about a 60% difference in open rates. Now, what I told them is I said, look, let's implement ManyChat. Let's give you a higher open rate on your messages so you can get you more sales. So we started implementing call to actions for ManyChat. And within, I think it was like a month, they wound up getting like 4,000 people on their ManyChat. Which, just to put that in perspective, I've been marketing my Facebook for a while, and I'm barely at 4,000 right now. Because they have so much traffic already going to their site, they got like 4,000 in like a month. So we would send out a message, and there'd be, like I said, huge open rates. Now, the thing is the guy wasn't happy with ManyChat for whatever reason. He didn't like Facebook. I don't know why. He just wasn't happy with it. And so he got mad because he wanted email. And that's actually the reason why I ended up losing the client. Now, what this comes down to is just setting the expectation. I should have been more open about what the client was actually interested in. But a lot of the time people are more interested in how they feel than what's actually reasonable. So that's sort of the reason why I lost that project. But either way, if we go back into, thanks Scott Edwards. Scott Edwards just signed up for the new local program. If we go into the next metrics, this is where it really gets interesting. So we did boost the conversion rates. Obviously, they got tons of more conversions, but this is where we really spent most of the time. So after doing these other things, click-through rate. So first thing you do with any site, you go into Search Console and you look and see what the pages actually need to be ranking for. So how do you do this? This is something I do on phase 2 for all my audits. It's called keyword mapping. So let's say I wanted to rank number 1 for, let's say, SEO audit template. So what I would do is I go to Search Console, press start, log in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight into the property I want to rank. So I'll just go to chaserunner.com. We're going to go to open report. We're going to go to pages. Now, again, so 80% of your traffic is going to go to 20% of your pages off of Google. That's just how it works. That works for basically every single site you work on. So first thing you do for every site is you look at the top 10 pages. And what you do is you click into each of the pages. So I'm going to click into SEO Audit Checklist Template. After you click onto that page, you're going to go to Queries. Now, this is every single thing this page is ranked for the last 3 months. Literally everything. So everything you see right here is going to be all of the click data off of Google. Now, what you want to do is you generally want to find the keyword that's most relevant to the page with the highest traffic and also the most impressions. So if we look at this page, we can see that the page is about an SEO audit checklist template. So if I look at these different keywords, we could see, here we go, SEO audit template, 109 clicks, 3,000 impressions. SEO roadmap template, 95 clicks, 1,400 impressions. And if we keep looking to the right, we could see, okay, average click-through rate 3, average position 8.1. Now here's why these metrics are important. If we look at the click-through rate, which is the amount of people who see, so the impressions are the amount of people who see this result showing up, and this is the amount of people who click on it. So if your click-through rate is lower than 3%, meaning that lower than 3% of the people who see you on Google don't click on you, right? So that means, 97% of the people who go to the search result and don't click on you, if you have a 3% click-through rate, that means 3% actually do. Then you want to change your title and your meta description. That's pretty much it. The average position is really just an estimate based on the last 3 months. But if you look at the last 7 days, you'll actually see where it currently is at. So what you want to do is you want to find opportunities where you can go for something that has a ton of impressions and search traffic with generally lower click-through rates. And you also want to find things with keyword difficulty equal to your page value. So what that means is, look, SEO audit template, 109 clicks, 3,000 impressions, average position, click-through rate 3%, average position 8.1. So let's say we want to rank number 1 for that because we're getting a ton of impressions, more so than the SEO roadmap template and anything else in here. And we can see with just a few optimizations targeting SEO audit template, we could probably get it to rank higher, get more clicks in. So you take this data and you put it into a spreadsheet. So you're going to go new tab. It looks like I can't create a new tab. Let me just do file, new, spreadsheet. And you're going to take this data for this URL. Here it is, SEO audit template. You're going to take the URL, obviously, too. So chaserunner.com/SEO audit template, whatever it is. And you want to think about, okay, is this keyword too competitive for this page? And does it currently match what the page is about? So if I take this keyword and I plug it into something like Ahrefs or whatever, I use for keyword difficulty measuring, we can see it's a keyword difficulty 39. So that's pretty difficult. So if I take that keyword and I say, okay, KD 39, and I look at the page, I want to see how valuable that page actually is. So if the page is only like, let's say a page authority like 20, it's going to be harder to rank that page. Look at this page, UR is only about an 8. So we're just going to say you are 8. So I know these metrics are kind of hard to remember, everything I'm saying right now, but again, just try to stick with me for a second. So again, we have our URL, we have our keyword that we wanted to rank for based on our Search Console data. This is all the things that it got clicks for, SEO Audit Template. We got 109 clicks the last 3 months, 3,000 impressions. That's how many times it showed up on Google. We got 3.20% click-through rate. So that's an indicator to us that we can actually change maybe the title and the meta description to get a higher click-through rate, because 3% isn't terribly high. We usually want to go for at least a 3, but if we can get up to like a 6%, that's usually better. The KD is 39 and the UR is 8. So what we can actually do to increase the UR of this page without actually building external links to the website is we can do internal linking. So you can take some of the other valuable pages, like let's say the SEO Audit Template is a very important page that we want to rank. We could then link to this page from the home page, from maybe a course page, from other pages that we want to reference something like this, obviously that's similar to that page, to get the UR to rank higher. Now, if we can get this UR up to like a 15 with internal linking, which you generally can, if you're doing content marketing, you're building new pages, all that kind of thing, what will end up happening is you'll usually see this average position go to maybe like a 4. Now, this again isn't the only thing that you want to worry about, and this is actually for Built with Science. This is something that we did a lot. We took all of the big pages, we looked at the keywords that they were trying to target, like, you know, bicep workouts, upper body workouts, lower body workouts, and we made sure that first of all the page was matching what that thing was about. So if we wanted to rank for upper body workout, we map the keyword to that. We want to make sure there's certain elements on the page, like obviously we want to make sure it's in the title of the page. We want to make sure that, you know, it's in the heading, somewhere obviously in the description, so on and so on. Now, once you have all of that in place, then you're going to again go back to your benchmark that we set in here, and you're going to go and look at the other metrics. So like internal linking, UR. Now, like I said, from in here, we also look at the conversion rates. So if the conversion rates are low, we're going to change the call to action. If the click-through rate's low, we're going to change the title. If the internal linking is low, meaning there's not a lot of authority going to this page, we're going to try to link some of the other authoritative pages to that page. Now, the most important thing we did out of all of this, and let me just mention one more thing that we did with the click-through rate. This is the exact formula we use for all our click-through rates. Look at, we put the qualifier on the left, the main keyword on the left, so best upper body workout, and then we put our qualifier on the right, which is whatever people are about to get, routines and exercises. So you always want to have that format with your titles. Put the main keyword on the left, as far to the left as possible, and then put some sort of qualifier, what they're going to get out of that page, on the right. That's the other big thing we did for the click-through rates and optimizing the titles. So here's where all of the magic happened though. Internal duplicate content and external. Now this gets complicated, and I'll explain why. Whenever you start going into national sites, what ends up happening is you end up having to do, you have to deal with cannibalization. What cannibalization means is that when one page you have is ranking, generally you'll have other pages ranking for the same thing. So you have to figure out whether you need to 301 that page, if you need to canonical it, or if you want to de-index it or 410 it. There's all these different options. Now I'll explain to you how we actually deal with these different options with these sites. So first thing you do is you take the URL of the site and you plug it into something like Siteliner. Let me actually move my camera a little bit more so I'm not too in the way. So you take the site, you put it into Siteliner, and Siteliner looks and it scans all of your pages, and it tells you, okay, what are the pages that have the highest duplicate content? And what you're hoping for is you're hoping that your highest traffic pages are not duplicated to other pages, because that's a sign that those pages are being cannibalized. So this is the exact same thing I also did with our sleep guide. Our sleep guide, by the way, is in the affiliate SEO program. Again, quick plug. If you guys want to learn all this stuff step by step, I think even in the national program, I show over the shoulder what I did to rank this this website. A lot of these programs, what you'll see is actually over the shoulder training of me going in and actually spending time ranking these websites. So like this one, you can see in part 8 which is like 50 minutes long. It's just me going through. It's just me going through the different parts of the website and actually going and clicking on the buttons to optimize it, what I actually typed. So if you want to see like over-the-shoulder training type stuff, I really do recommend you check out the SEO Pro bundle, which is my basically bundle of programs that gives you over 100 hours of different trainings. You get all of my templates, my paid templates, all my tutorials, everything for $697. And also there's a payment plan for this if you guys can't afford it. Just send me an email. So I'm at chasereiner.com. So now that Siteliner's pretty much loaded, we're going to go to duplicate content. And you can see here, some of these pages are heavily duplicated, like intermediate build program, parts of the biceps. So if we click into this page, we can actually see here all the things that are duplicated to another page. Now, if you go to this page and you see it's one of the high traffic pages and you want to rank this page higher, you need to figure out, okay, this is the checklist. So if this page, let me show you. If the page you're trying to rank that's duplicated, let's say has above a 5% duplicate content, which you want to have about a 5% maximum, unless it's supplementary content. So if there's content like in the sidebar, the footer, and that's what's causing more than 5%, don't worry about it. But if it's main content, meaning it's the content that's supposed to be unique to that page, it's not in a sidebar, it's not in a menu item. If it's more than 5%, you want to first ask, okay, is this page valuable for people to see off the website, right? And then you want to ask, is this page, should this page be searchable on Google? Is there another page that already explains what this page explains? And does this page have any traffic? So first of all, if this page is valuable for people to see off the website, this page right here, then you don't want to de-index it. That means you want it to be on the website. You want people to actually be able to find it on the website because it is valuable, right? If should this page be searchable on Google? So if the page shouldn't be searchable on Google, but the page is valuable for people to see, then you want to do something. You either want to no index it, or you want to canonical it. So this kind of goes to the next part. If there's another page that already explains what this page explains, but it's still valuable and it should still and it shouldn't be searchable on Google, then you want to canonical it. So canonical is basically like this. I'll show you how it works. So let me bring up Paint. So you have two pages, right? You have page A, which is about, let's say, biceps. And then you have page B, that's also about biceps, right? Now, if page B has more traffic than page A, right? Then you generally want to canonical page A to page B if they're the exact same page. Now, if page A and page B are the same, and page B has more traffic, and page A has no use, nobody needs to see it, there's no use for it, it's just taking up space on the website, then you're going to set a 410 status code, which means it's a permanently deleted page. So these are really the big differences. Let me know in chat if you guys are kind of understanding what I'm saying here. Really what you're doing with these big sites is you're going through and you're combing through what are the important pages, are they duplicated, whether it's internal content or external. I'll show you how to check external in a second from other websites. And if the page is not unique and it's being cannibalized by another page, and the way you can tell if it's being cannibalized is one, if the pages have the same content, but two, if you go into Search Console and let's say you look for something like, SEO Audit Template, you click on SEO Audit Template as your keyword, and then you go to pages. If I have multiple pages ranking for this keyword, SEO Audit Template, then I know they're both competing for the same thing, which is not what I want. So you want your pages to look like this, where you have one keyword only getting all the traffic. If you go into national sites, and you'll see this a lot, these national sites will have one 5 different pages competing for the same keyword, and it's generally because they're not doing what we're talking about here. They're not getting rid of their nonsense pages that have no use. They're not canonicalizing the page that should be ranking or shouldn't be ranking to the page that should if it's the same type of content. And they're not doing any sort of redirects or 301s to a better page if this page currently has any sort of traffic or authority and they need to bring it to the other page, but it has no more use. The only time you would really no index a page is if it had no value, or sorry, if it had usability value, but it had, it's better actually just to use canonicals. Like, don't even worry about no index because generally you're still going to get a little value from using a canonical. The way canonicals work, if you guys don't know, explain what they are. So basically, Google created something, a canonical tag, because what they wanted is they wanted to be able to say, okay, they wanted website users to say, okay, if we have a page that's very valuable, let's say it's, page B, that's about bicep workouts. And let's say this page is very, very important to the website. But let's say we have another page that's page A, and this page is also about bicep workouts. It's also very valuable to the website, but it's basically the same content, except maybe it's just spun a little bit differently. Like maybe they're talking about bicep workouts for people who are 30 or something, but they kind of wanted to use the same content because it's just so good on page B. Then you would canonical that page, the other page, and say, hey, Google, don't rank this page. Rank this page. This is the one that should be ranking. These pages aren't even competing because this page is so good that the other page just doesn't even compare. So we're just going to say, don't even list this one, Google. Just list this one. That's what canonical is for. 410 is to say to Google, hey, look, completely remove this page, and a redirect is saying, hey, Google, I didn't realize that this page was still on the website or that it's even there. I don't even want that there. I'm just going to 301 it to this other website, this other page. It's basically the same thing. So again, this is mainly what I did for the website. Like that's where I spent most of my time, was combing through all this duplicate content. You can see a bunch is already back here. So what I would do is if I went back to the website and worked on it again, I'd be like, guys, is this page valuable? If not, what should we do? Can we canonicalize it? Can we redirect it? And this is where you're going to be spending most of your time with national sites. Like, look at this. All of these pages here. We have almost probably 20 pages here. Sorry, 30 pages here with above 20% duplicate content. So if you go to a site and the site already has a bunch of traffic, and then you go fix these duplicate content issues like we're talking about here, while you combine it with some of this other stuff that we're talking about, like for instance, page speed optimization, reducing the bounce rates, focusing on higher conversion rates with what we've been talking about with the free value, the paid value, focus on the click-through rates, mapping the correct keywords, focusing on internal linking, bringing up the URs of those pages. If you just focus on this with national websites, everything we talked about in this, you're going to kill it. Now, again, if you guys already have the bundle, the SEO Pro bundle, or you have my SEO affiliate program, watch this because this is literally everything I did to grow a site from 2 visitors a day to 19,000 visitors a month and over $50,000 a month in revenue doing bed reviews. And most of what I'm doing in here is I'm going through the content and I'm actually explaining, okay, look at all these different look at all these different pages that are duplicated, and look at this. This is literally me in Siteliner right here going through and being like, all right, so we're going to actually canonical this page, or we're going to 301 this one. This is why. And I'm doing an over shoulder. This tutorial alone is about 2 hours long of me doing this. So if you guys really want an over the shoulder training, actually seeing in real time how I do this, how I rank these national sites like this, go check out the bundle and check out the affiliate program or the national program. I got a ton of stuff in here, even local. The local program actually has me going through these different tasks, all these different tasks that you're going to have to do for local. And it's over the shoulder, me actually going through the websites and setting up all the things you're going to need to set up, like optimizing the Google My Business. And everything is in real time. This local course is actually me ranking this website, a brand new website in real time. Even setting up the AdWords and setting up, the Fiverr, orders for like ordering videos, like all this stuff you're going to want to do over the shoulder. I don't know anybody else who offers training like that. So hundreds of hours of videos, super good deal. I would check it out. I'll leave a link again in the description if you guys want to go see it. But hey, we got 75 people in here. Let me, oh, sorry, my camera just died. Let me answer any questions you guys might have. Does anybody have any questions today? Welcome everybody in chat. We got, is Siteliner an expensive tool? It only gets expensive or somewhat expensive if you start using it for like really big websites. For like up to like, I think it's like 100 pages, it's free. David, what's up, man? Are there ways to hide SEO strategy from view page source inspect? A local web design service offers SEO, but I see so many things missing, either hiding or it's not, or they're not doing it on their own site. There is a way that you can hide it, but you can still see the source code if you just manually type it into your browser. What else? Trying to. Okay, we got. Drew says, "Do you teach anything about dwell time?" Not really. I mean, it's basically the same as bounce rates. Like, if you have a low bounce rate, then you're not going to have a high dwell time. So, I usually just look at bounce rate as kind of my go-to metric when it comes to people visiting the site. Aaron says, "How much is your site speed guy?" I think he's like $200 for a website. Colin says, "Hey Chase, looking forward to the next week's course. Was the plumbing website you did?" Plumber Coronado. If you look up Plumber Coronado's San Diego or just Plumber Coronado, you'll see the site show up. It should be like number 1 or number 2. When will the live local SEO classes start? So we have 2 days left on it. So everybody who enters, we're doing in 2 days. It closes. We're gonna not let anybody else in, and then I'm gonna pull everybody who joined and ask them, "Hey, what days work best for you guys?" Just so we can get everybody on the same schedule. So probably well, after it closes, after the entries close, I will probably wait like a couple days just to make sure everybody's good, and then we'll get started. What do you use for your legal documents, contract, etc.? I just write everything in my invoices and make sure that we're on the same page about it. I don't really have like, huge legal contracts or anything. Generally, if people aren't happy, I'll just refund them. Like, I'm not too worried about it. Michael says, "Do you have a least favorite ranking factor that you find is a necessary evil to the process, but is a pain in the butt?" I think the most annoying one is really just the wait time. Like, I mean, it's not really a ranking factor, but it is. So after you create a website or after you create a page, the most annoying part is like not being able to instantly test what you're doing. Like, if you could say, "Oh, I'm going to change a title, and then I'm going to see in 2 days how that title affected the website." You can't really do that. You usually have to wait like a month. So that's really the most annoying part about SEO, is just like waiting to see your results and then optimizing based off that wait time. You sticking with Ahrefs or switching? My subscription is coming up. Well, seeing how they haven't been very nice to me, I probably might end up switching. I've been promoting them for years, and recently somebody got into my API and used up my limit, so I couldn't even do a tutorial on them. And I messaged them and said, "Hey guys, can I get can you reset my API?" They said no. And I've been asking them for months, or for years, by the way, just to sponsor my account. Give me a free license. It's like $200 for them, or it's $200. It's not that much. Like, and I don't mind paying it. It's just more like, I give them so many free customers. Like, I promote them so much with my templates. I have millions of views on my SEO tutorials, and I constantly promote them, and they're not willing to give me any sort of account or even sort of help on my API being stolen. Like, I can't even do the tutorials, and they just say, "Sorry, I can't help you." So I'm kind of done with them right now. Can I make thumbnails for YouTube videos? It's just I like what you teach. Yeah, you could try. I have somebody right now that's doing them, but definitely you can try for this one. Does the local SEO course come with the paid template? Which paid template? The SEO audit template? Do you do silo internal linking? If so, how do you do it for large sites? I kind of explained it early on, so I would go back and kind of rewatch that part, because I did go over that. Hey, Chase. Oh, sorry. I skipped that one. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for today. If you have any questions further than this, let me know. Just send me an email. It's im@chaserunner.com. And that's it. So thank you all for joining. Until we see you all next time, happy SEOing. Bye.